Okay, so we are here in Premiere and we're at the point where we have completed our project. Everything's all color graded, I'm removed, everything's good to go, and we're ready to export. So just to show you a quick tutorial on exporting for VR, this particular project for me is for a company called Orbiton Media. And my output is always 8K, highest quality, and then once I get the project over to them, they can downsize it, downscale it as much as I want to their needs. So we've got our in and out points set and ready to go. Don't worry about the unrendered timeline. It would take too long to try and render that first and then render again. We're just going to let Media Encoder do all of that for us. So just go ahead and do your usual export. So we'll come up here to export. Don't worry about any of this stuff. This is from probably a different project. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so we're now here in our export panel. Name your file the way that you want to name it. So I'm going to call this Orbiton Media 3 in trailer. Obviously set your location. I've got mine set to where I've been sending everything. We'll go ahead and set our location. So we have been exporting everything as ProRes so far, but this is our final output. So we're going to compress this to H.264. I want to go and click here on match source just to double check that nothing's been changed along the way. We want this as higher quality as possible to send to the client. We're going to come down here. This might be clicked on as this, where it has the 3 dots and the more. So we're going to click on that to open up the panel further. We want to make sure that render at maximum depth is clicked on, use maximum render quality is clicked on, TV standard NTSC, as all my footage is 30 frames a second. As this is an 8K output, I can only go to software encoding. You do have the option for hardware encoding as well, but that only goes up to 4K. So if you go click on hardware encoding, it will say your system's hardware does not support for the current settings. So as we are 8K, we are limited to software encoding, but that's absolutely fine. Come on down, we're not going to worry about any of this. My output, I have always limited to 200. This is specific for this company that I'm exporting for. They offer all their highest resolution things at 8K, 200 megabytes a second. So I leave mine at 200 and constant bitrate. This is going to tell the export to not change. Doesn't matter how complex the scene is, it's not going to up or down the bitrate. It's going to stick at 200. So I know that's safe. I know that all the output on the other side is for all their needs, for the visors they're using, for YouTube as well. 200 for 8K monoscopic is perfect. So I'm going to stick here with constant bitrate at 200. So this is a monoscopic project. So I'm going to make sure that video is VR is checked on. Frame layout monoscopic. You can change this to stereoscopic, over, under, or side by side if you have done a 3D project. But for 99% of the stuff that I do is monoscopic. Don't touch these, but you want to make sure horizontal is 360, vertical is 180. And we're going to make sure audio is clicked on. We're not going to mess with any of this. We have no captions, effects clicked on. That's absolutely everything that we need to do. So it's good practice to send this. So you can just export this straight from Premiere, but a lot of these projects can take sometimes 8 to 12 hours to export. On the longer projects, say like my 15-minute project, that can take sometimes 2 days to export. And you don't want to take over your Premiere Pro while that's doing that. You want to have the ability to at least open up Premiere. So we're going to go ahead and send that over to Media Encoder. Okay, so we've landed over here into Media Encoder. Here is our export ready to go. I have this status warning here only because there's some offline media detected somewhere in the project, but I know that it's nothing to do with the project that I'm exporting now. So if yours comes up like this, but you're very sure that all your media is online, don't worry about it. This has all been set from your Premiere settings that you brought it over. So all you really need to do now is to come up to here and start queue. So let's go ahead and do that. And there you go. That's pretty much everything. You can check your settings down here. So you've got, yep, I know that it's a 8K video, 30 frames a second. Everything here is looking great. 200 megabytes a second for the bit rate. I'm very happy. Like I said, it depends on the speed of your computer, how long this is going to take. Don't be scared off if it's a longer project or you've got lots of effects and things that it might take 2 days to export a project. This is a 3-minute video and I'm guessing this is going to probably take me about 4 hours to export this in total. But yeah, it's normal unless you're lucky and you have a really, really fast computer. Don't think there's something wrong. It's at the moment, so it's saying 9 hours at the moment, but you know, that can vary. So there you go. This is how to export your project into a viewable media that can be loaded onto YouTube, onto headsets, that can be sent over to your client. There you go.